What's up, YouTube? I'm just gonna try to do a quick video to touch on the some of the roster moves that have happened recently and some of the moves that are happening right now and the 2K tomorrow. Some of the teams or whatever that are going on. Anyways, um, Prophecy they traded Ricky for Spacely, so the roster for Elevate is Ricky, Slacked, um, TJ Halley, and Classic. As far as like slaying goes, that roster has a lot of slaying power. We have a couple of very young, talented players, and Classic has proven he can do some crazy things. Ricky just is a solid Surge player, a very solid player all around, and is going to bring a lot to the roster. If he may or may not stay on that roster though. There's a lot of rumors around him. His UGC Niagara team is nameless. Bose, him, and Parasite. I don't think Parasite will necessarily. I don't really see Parasite moving, but it's possible. I don't think he's not playing the 2K with his team tomorrow with FaZe. It's Huke, Slasher, and Zuma, and they're looking for one. I don't know who their other person is going to be, but I know back when the game first started, a lot of players did a bunch of different 2Ks and 5K teams trying to do tryouts with certain rosters that they thought would work better. So with Denial winning, I think a lot of teams are trying to find a comfortability factor. Um, Optic and Denial definitely aren't making moves, but a lot of the other teams are. I don't think FaZe will make one other than the fact that he will probably be replacing Aches. But I don't really see anyone else leaving from that team. And then, Aches becomes someone that I could see going to like TK or potentially even Envy. Merck seemed pretty upset about something to do with the rosters. He said today he wasn't retiring. When I was watching his stream, he said that. Someone asked him, and he said he wasn't retiring. He did not know what the roster was at the moment. They were still working on things. It looks like Nameless is probably going to go somewhere. There's been a lot of rumors with him going to Optic Nation. He's playing with Miracles tomorrow. I don't know what the full team is for that, but I know the Envy roster was supposed, or the Envy roster for tomorrow was supposed to be Apathy, Zuma, Saints, and Merc, but something happened with the 2K roster, and it's not going to be that. I'm not sure what the we'll have to see tomorrow what the 2K rosters are going to be. Um, it'll be interesting. I'll try to watch some of the streams tomorrow. Try to pay attention because there'll be a lot of people talking like about what potential rosters they're having. I guess Parasite has basically came out and said that at least in the league they're gonna use Huke instead of Aches for a while at least. It makes sense. I don't know that Aches always has the best attention span when it comes to playing in tournaments or playing online and playing in 5Ks and 2Ks. He cares more about like COD champs and stuff like that. Next games isn't until June, so maybe he's not going to try as hard because they didn't get invited to the SWC. So the next tournament is UGC Niagara, and there's a lot of teams that aren't going. I'm not even sure if Optic's going. Krim said today he wasn't sure. He thought they were going, and then he's just not 100% sure they're going to SWC, which is just right after that. So maybe travel wise, it's not going to work out. I don't know. But Parasite, Ricky, Nameless, and Bose are playing in that, as I mentioned. And then there's just a bunch of other pickup teams. Goons playing with some other players because I don't think TK is going to that. Um, so it'll be interesting. That'll be more of teams like Optic and Denial that have a full roster will definitely win someone that goes to their full roster is probably going to win it. I don't really see a pickup team winning it, but you never know. And if the pickup team does win it, does that change what they want to do with the rosters in the future. The roster lock probably isn't for a while. I don't know when the roster lock will be for X Games, but they just announced tickets today, and so I don't know when the roster lock's going to be. But you got to think that's not until sometime in May, so they still have a lot of time to work on rosters, I would believe, because it's still pretty early in the season. The only reason that the rosters are being changed around right now is because COD Champs is finally over and teams can finally, pick up the younger players and just make moves for the fact that they struggled a little bit at COD Champs or whatever. Teams like Envy, Optic Nation, TK um, haven't really had the success in this game as far as winning. TK's been on and off. And they didn't place well at the last two events. They took like eighth, I think, at both maybe. Not really. I don't remember at regionals. It was lower, but I don't remember. It might have been eighth. Um. Anyways, I think TK is gonna make a move. Is that gonna be for Aches? Theory would be the one that would make sense the most because they did try to drop him already, or they thought about dropping him before COD Champs for Aches, and then they decided not to. At times in this game he's really good, and it's kind of surprising because you don't really think of Theory to be like this dominant player, but at times he can be. So, I'm gonna try to keep this video kind of short tonight, so keep it rolling. But yeah, TK, maybe Apathy because X Games last year he played well with them. You know, he was gonna play the 2K with the Envy roster, and I don't think that's happening now. So Envy's a potential thing with him. His KD's been really good lately at lands. He can make a lot of plays. If he has someone that's directing him, he can be a lot better player. I know a lot of people give him crap about his intellect as far as in-game like thinking and stuff, but people give Scump a bunch of crap. Like Nate's always messing with him about being stupid. He's just joking with him. But um, there's some of the players that are smarter in game, like Krem and Nate and Merc and T, stuff like that. But then you got some of the players that just have like some of the pure gun skill and rely more on just killing everything in front of them. And Apathy just runs around and tries to do his thing. And even like when I'm playing Call of Duty, sometimes when I'm just not even thinking about it, I do better if I'm just playing off instinct and just like I assume this guy's gonna be here because if you're in a similar situation as that person, that's the move you would make. I don't know, but you can't really have you don't really know the tendencies of people you haven't played against and stuff. And a lot of these pros play against each other a lot, but there's always new people coming in and then new teams and new strategies and whatever. But um, I like the Elevate roster. We'll see if they stick. AR, I like their move of picking up Happy. BL Fire, sucks for him. He helped them place really well at Champs, but I think he'll find a roster. I don't know if it'll be in the league, but even if it's not in the league, you got teams like SB. They're looking for two people, and they've got very talented players like SB John. Like John, he's good. And Fizz, he can do a lot of things and throw different things at the table. But be on the lookout for Envy to make moves really soon. They've got one of the most talented players in the game in Saints, and I would like to see him do something that's going to make them a top 3, top 4 team. They have the talent, it's not clicking right now. So I really think that it's potential that he would not team with Zuma again. Um, if the right thing came along, what that would be, I don't know. But if the right thing came along, who knows? I know he had tried to team with Enable and Aches or whatever before, and there was all these different kinds of rosters that were potential. But alright, I'm gonna try to wrap it up. Really for me though, if Envy were to do something like Saints, Zuma, App, and like a Aches or I don't know, I guess Aches and Apathy can't team because Aches doesn't really like him that much. But I don't know, something that would give a little more slaying power there, because Nameless has been kind of just he's not comfortable with the players or whatever. You know, at times he's good at this game, and at times he's not. So it'll be interesting to see. Um, I'll try to put another video up tomorrow. This one was kind of short, but well, it wasn't that short, but yeah. There should be a lot of roster moves in the next couple days. We thought there'd be a lot already, but you know, you just had a lot of people announcing like Dito, Neslo, and Bose that they were going to be free agents, and then you got the whole FaZe Black roster like Proofy, Apathy, Censor, and Study that were looking for rosters. Prophecy's going to be making moves. I don't think that roster's sticking. Mochilla, if I'm Prophecy, I build around him and then maybe go get a player like Neslo, Theory if TK is going to get rid of him, and then another maybe a young talented sub that can get in people's faces like an Aqua or something um, to round out that roster. That would be my ideal for them. If I was the owner of Prophecy, I would try to make moves maybe a little under the radar, but are more for team chemistry and maybe some players that are good, but people kind of overlook a little bit, like a Neslo. He's kind of been pushed over at times. And John, I really like him. I think on the right fit, like with a Mochilla or something that's just killing everything. If you can get John up in people's faces and get him causing distractions or whatever, you know, Moch cuts lanes like a Clayster. And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to see the moves. Leave a like if you like it. Comment what you think, what rosters you think should happen, and who you think the top 3 teams in the game will be. You know, obviously Optic, Denial, but then after those two, what are the top 3 teams? Who's gonna really surprise people at the next few lands? I think Huke's gonna remind people, you know, who he is, because you know at Orlando he shut everything down, and you know COD champs and all that happened, and him and TJ Halley kind of went out of the spotlight. Kind of, it sucks that those two aren't teaming together because of the whole age thing with COD champs, and then you know they moved around, but it is what it is, and peace.